Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah and this is my Subtlework Studios channel for yoga, meditation, and more. Today I have a nice yoga sequence, and this was inspired by that feeling of having a long work day and just needing to come home, relax, recenter. So it'll be a very short practice, but a nice one to reset and restore yourself for the rest of your day or evening. So that said, we'll sit up nice and tall. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let's take a few more mindful breaths. Deep breath in. Full exhale, release. And one more time, deep breath in. Exhale. Release. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Start to walk your right fingertips out to the right side, relaxing that right shoulder, allowing the head to be nice and heavy. You'll see I have my yoga teaching assistant Barney here today too. Just breathing into that right side of the neck. Maybe you can even feel it into your right shoulder or down the arm. Next inhale, lift your head back up, and we'll take it to the other side. Drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Barney's in a little bit of a playful mood, apparently. And then walk your left hand out to the left side. Again, breathing into the left side of the neck. This is especially good if you've been sitting at a desk all day. Next breath in, lift your head back up to center. We'll come to sit on the long ways on your mat if you're not already. You can extend your legs out long, and if this is a hard position to sit in, you can grab a block or a pillow to lift your hips up, and that just makes it a little bit easier. Sitting with your legs outstretched. Inhale, lift both arms up overhead. And exhale, folding forward. And we'll pause halfway. So your hands can rest wherever they fall on your legs. But do your best to find a nice flat back here. So long line from the tail to the crown. Take a breath in here. Exhale. See if you can hinge forward, keeping that flat back. And then when you can't go anymore with a flat back, from that point, release the weight of your head. We'll breathe here. Do your best to allow your shoulders to drop from your ears. Let your head be nice and heavy. Keep your feet active though, so toes are pointing up to the sky. Slight bend in your knees if you're sitting up on something. And breathing deeply. Letting gravity do the work here. If you'd like to, you can start to find gentle movement swaying side to side. I know that's feeling really good in my body. Finding even more space, more surrender and release. We'll take just one more breath wherever you're at. On your next inhale, take your time and slowly roll yourself back up into a seated position, head coming up last. Good. Go ahead and remove anything that you're sitting on, and we'll come to lay all the way down on our backs. Keep the feet planted, the knees lifted, hands pressing down on either side of your body. And we'll find a really gentle inversion here. So lifting your feet up to the sky. Start with a nice bend in both of your knees. Just make this really gentle. We're really just wanting to reverse the flow of blood in our legs here. Inversions are a great way to stimulate that rest and digest response, the parasympathetic nervous system response. It's really great if you especially had a stressful day, or if your job tends to be stressful. This is a great way to reset after work. Take one more inhale here. Try to extend your legs as much as possible. And then on the exhale, slowly release your feet to the mat. From here, we're going to find some dynamic bridge movements. So you might need to come forward on your mat a little bit. But we'll start just with the lower body. So on your inhale, press into your heels. Start to lift your tailbone, lift your hips. And on the exhale, release. Let's do 2 more like that. Big breath in, lifting your hips, pressing down into your heels. And exhale, release. 1 more just like that. Big breath in. Exhale, release. Next, inhale as you lift your hips. Lift your arms slowly all the way up and overhead. Exhale, release arms, release hips. Let's do that 1 more time. Big breath in. Now this time on your exhale, keep your hips lifted and just lower your arms here. You can keep your arms pressing down on either side of you, or if you want a little more, you can interlace your hands underneath your body and then tuck your arms underneath your body. So your shoulders are underneath you, creating this little shelf for your chest and heart. And then press even more into your heels. Maybe your glutes and hips are starting to feel it now. Keep sending breath to those areas. Notice if you're clenching in your neck or your face, and do your best to relax those places. We're here just for 1 more breath. See if you can lift your hips even higher. And exhale with control, with ease, slowly rolling all the way down to the ground. Big breath in here, open your arms out wide to a T. Let's extend the left leg out long and then drop your right knee over to the left side of your mat. Option here to bring the left hand on top of your right knee for a little extra weight. And then your next option is to bend into your left leg, your left knee, bringing that left foot closer to your body. And then if you can grab a hold of that left foot with the right hand for a little quad stretch in the left leg. Do your best to keep the right shoulder planted on the ground. So we're prioritizing keeping both shoulders level and planted on the ground rather than getting too deep into the pose. Last breath here. Bottom of the exhale will release. Bring both knees back up to the sky. Extend the right leg out long this time. Bring your left knee in towards your body and then dropping it over to the right side. So again, trying to keep the weight in both shoulders here. So we're emphasizing the twist rather than the depth in that left glute stretch. And then option to put right hand on top of left knee. Other option to bend into that right leg and grab a hold of the right foot. Wherever you're at, we'll take a few breaths. Last big breath in. Big breath out. Next inhale, we'll release back to center. From here, we will set up in Shavasana. So go ahead and just slide your legs out long and release your arms out long if you're ready. If you want something a little bit extra, something that I like to do at the end of a long day, especially working at a desk, you can find a pillow or a couple of pillows, and we'll end resting on that in a bit of a heart opener. So feel free to pause the video now if you need. I'm going to be using this bolster today. This is a nice kind of rounded cushioned one, but you can also just use 2 or maybe even 3 bed pillows. But we'll bring the pillows behind the back and then bring your hips up to the very edge of the pillow. Option to keep the legs crossed. Another option for a little more opening, if you're feeling like you want that in your low body even more, you can bring the bottoms of the feet to touch in this Baddha Konasana or butterfly. Or you can also extend the legs out long. It's up to you. And when you're ready, you can gently lay all the way back on your bolster or pillows, or maybe you're just in Shavasana, which is also fine. And then go ahead and rest your hands somewhere on your body that needs a little extra healing energy today. You can also just rest them at your sides if that feels better. And we'll stay here for just a few cycles of breath. Again, letting gravity do the work. If you're just in a regular shavasana laying on the ground, you can snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you to create that little shelf for your heart, like we did in our bridge pose. Settling in. If you'd like to stay here longer, you can feel free to pause the video now. Otherwise, if you're ready, you can start to bring some small movement back into your hands and feet. Rock your head a little side to side. And then gently roll yourself onto one side using your bottom arm as a pillow. Take a breath in here. And on an exhale, gently lift yourself back up into a seat. Keeping eyes closed or gaze soft. Hands in front of your heart center. Taking the last couple moments, couple breaths to feel the effects of your practice. Give yourself a little smile for doing something so good for your own heart. Take a big breath in. Big open mouth exhale. Amazing. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope my little cat over here wasn't too distracting. I think it's time for him to have some time outside. Thank you so much. I look forward to practicing with you in the next video. Namaste.